Welcome to Weaving Resonance, where intuition, energy, and embodiment meet real life. I'm Anna Gannon, international intuitive psychic and intuitive development coach. After conducting thousands of readings for people all over the world and training hundreds of people in developing their intuition, I'm here to help you awaken your unique intuitive gifts, trust them fully, and embody their wisdom. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to Weaving Resonance. I'm so grateful to be sitting down with you all today. And as usual, let's take a moment to drop into our bodies and just be here, be present. And that just means see if you can listen through your whole body. So maybe what I like to do sometimes is send your awareness all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And just maybe for the first time today, feel the bottoms of your feet pressing onto the ground beneath them. And then feel from the bottoms of your feet that awareness rise up through your legs. Feel your legs. Feel it rise up through your hips. Feel your hips. Through your belly. Feel the whole circumference of your belly. Up into your ribs. Into your chest. Feeling your middle back, your upper back, your heart, moving it into the shoulders, down the arms, down the wrist, down the hands, the fingers, up the neck, through the jaw, through the face, through the back of the head, the sides of the head, the ears, and the crown of the head. Good. And just sense that now you're really in your body. Right? And maybe you were before you started listening to this. I don't want to assume. But this allows us to really be present and to listen from a different standpoint, right? Which if you've been around here, you know that I'm kind of referring to this as full body listening. So not just through the ears, but listening through your body so that you can start to train your system, your body to listen to intuitive insights that are coming in and through, whether that's through feeling emotions, through feeling sensations, tingles, chills, temperature shifts through your body as we're connecting today, as well as things that you may hear, things that you may see in through what is called your third eye, symbols, colors, right? So just really listening from a deeper space from within. So with that totally out of the way, let's get into today, which today, is kind of going to start in a roundabout way with a very random story. Last night, I was cooking some burgers on the stovetop, and I'm a vegetarian, so these were Beyond Burgers. And I was kind of at a pretty strict time limit to be able to cook these because I had to run to the bus stop to get my kids. So I started by making the pan, I put it all the way on high so it would heat up very fast so I can kind of put the burgers on there, cook a little bit faster. And after I put it on high and I put the burgers in the pan, I totally forgot that it was on high. So, maybe 3 minutes later, I start to smell smoke, and lo and behold, I have burnt the burgers. And luckily, we could still eat them, and I tend to like burnt stuff, don't tell anyone. And burning these burgers reminded me of a Rumi quote that I have come to really love. For a while, I really didn't understand what this quote meant. It has taken many years, and now it's something that just feels very dear to my heart that I feel like I understand through my body. And the Rumi quote is, I was raw, I was cooked, I was burned. I was raw, I was cooked, I was burned. And what this quote has come to symbolize for myself is this idea that we come into life raw, right? An infant, that all of this stuff is happening. We are pure, but we are absorbing everything. And throughout our lifetime, we start to get cooked, right? We start to burn a lot of our energy, start to burn a lot of our light. And then by the end of our lives, we're completely burned, but not in a negative way, in a way that we experienced it all, that we were fully cooked by the end of our lifetime. And what this kind of made me want to come and talk to you about today is this idea of safety versus resilience, and how this connects to this quote and to being burned is that what I'm starting to realize is that safety, which on an energetic level is connected to our root chakra processes the frequency of safety, security, belonging, um, abundance, financial money. And with this, safety tends to be the foundation of what we need in order to function, whether that's energetically or physically. If we don't feel safe at all, we won't be able to get out of bed. We won't be able to do stuff, right? We won't be able to sleep if we don't have some kind of baseline of safety, right? If we're constantly under threat, we're not going to feel safe at all. So I do always look at safety as kind of the foundation when I'm working with people. Okay, where is this person not feeling safe? Because if they don't feel some sense of safety, we can't really start to build on top of that. Now, what I've been seeing a lot over the past, let's say, 5, 6 years is that this idea of us needing to feel safe has kind of started to almost not serve us, because so many of us will feel, oh, well, if I don't feel safe, I can't do anything. So we're just focusing on this idea of safety, right? And if we're always thinking that we need to have full, complete safety before we can do anything, we're probably not going to get much done, because life is inevitably unpredictable. So what we're really talking about with safety is some kind of baseline of safety, so that we can then have the courage, or what we're going to talk about today, the resilience, to be able to face what is coming towards us. So if we need some kind of level of safety, what is resilience and why does it matter? Well, you know, this idea of talking about resilience really made me think about a story of my grandmom, who I'm named after. So my grandmom's name was Anna Gannon, my dad's mother, and so I'm named totally after her. And my grandmom had a pretty rough life, from what I've heard. Um, she divorced. She got married to my dad's father. They divorced when my dad was very young. My dad's father wasn't really in the picture. He was an alcoholic. And whenever my dad kind of went to go visit him, my grandfather didn't really give him the time of day. He would kind of give him a couple coins and go play some arcade games, but they didn't really have a relationship. And, I'm sure my grandfather struggled as an alcoholic, struggling addiction. And on top of that, my grandmother not only didn't have a husband, which, this is back in the 1940s, and she also had brothers that were alcoholics, and she ended up kind of being responsible for them. So her whole life turned into this massive ability to be resilient. She was a single mom raising a son, primary caretaker of her brothers, who were also alcoholics, who lived with her. And she, just on her own accord, um, did try to care for my dad's dad as well. And even when my dad's father died, when he was, I want to say 16, my grandmother paid for all of his funeral services and for everything to go well, even though they had been divorced for a long time. So my grandmother, she worked and provided for the family, for her brothers. And my dad tends to describe that, she would get calls in the middle of the night hearing that one of her brothers was in a ditch somewhere on the street because he was so drunk, and she would have to go and get him and then wake up, a few hours later and go to work. And, you know, I look back and I think that the reason why we focus so much on safety now is because a lot of us grew up with this idea of burnout and over resilience, like my grandmother, right? Like she didn't have time to feel safe. She just had to go, go, go and make things work. And because of that, she didn't have much time for herself. She didn't have much time that was outside of working or caretaking. And I think we've swung that pendulum, right? To kind of look at that go, go, go mentality is so bad that we have to completely pause and just focus on safety. And I'm starting to sense that there's this in between that we need to also look at so that we can be able to continue to grow. Because, like I said, if we're only focused on safety, then we're not remembering that we're resilient. We're not remembering that life gets uncomfortable and that we can do hard things, even if we're not 100% safe in that moment. It's really like almost impossible to feel 100% safe and also do something, right? Risk requires some kind of challenge, right? Some kind of idea that it might not work out. So resilience, the word comes from to rebound, to get back up, to face something and then stand up and understand that you can continue to grow towards it, right? So resilience is really, can I handle what comes next? And I'm sensing that a lot of people need to connect with this energetically in their system. So instead of only focusing on, do I feel safe right now, and how do I make sure I'm regulating my nervous system, which, listen, this is all really important stuff. And it's not about staying in a state of being regulated all the time. It's about being fluid, having a flexible nervous system so that we can get up and face challenges and try again. In our energetic structure, I already told you that safety is connected to that root, right? It's the base of our design, that root chakra in our pelvis. Resilience lives in our solar plexus, which processes the energy of personal power, self-worth, courage, bravery, action, right? Our ability to face what's next. So I wanted to offer out a little practice, and we won't drop into a meditation right now, but I would like, if you're feeling called, to focus and practice this throughout these next 2 weeks. If you are someone who is struggling with feeling enough safety in your system, what I would really invite you to do is sense into that first chakra right now. Okay. So it's in your pelvis. You might feel a little bit of swirling. It's associated with the color red. Okay. Remembering that it's safety, security, belonging, abundance, financial security. And feel that this safety holds your energetic structure, right? So feel almost like it's buoyancy, like it can hold you up when you have a certain amount of safety. And see if just using your awareness when you tune into your pelvis right now, can you tune into that space is ripe with like a red light? And feel that red light can kind of allow gravity to really ground you so that you feel that ground beneath you. Remembering that resilience is to rebound, to stand back up. But we can't stand up or rebound if we don't have any ground beneath us in which to stand up from. So just feel that ground in your frequency, in your structure that is just innately there. Gravity is on your side, right? Good. And then by feeling that safety, that ground there, now holding that red frequency in your pelvis, I want you to draw your awareness up into your solar plexus, which is right in your rib cage. And this space is that resilience. It's connected to the color yellow. So maybe feel this yellow light activating at your solar plexus, the front and back of your rib cage, and that center point in between the front and the back. And allow the solar plexus to feel that root ground beneath it. And from feeling that ground, see if your body shape might even change, your posture, as you sense into this solar plexus and really feel it stand up on top of its root. So now that you can feel the energetic safety in your body, see if you can feel the energetic power of resilience in your solar plexus. Remembering that you have this ability to take action, to remember that you are supported by that earth beneath you, by that root, by that ground. And just notice how this is changing your design. Notice how it's changing your mental state right now, your emotional state, when you can kind of lock in the solar plexus on top of that root, this red connected to this yellow. Good. And then from this state, I'm just going to share something that has been really powerful that I want to leave you with and to help you remember. A few years ago, I had a lot of friends, like in 1 week, kind of come to me, and they were all processing really challenging stuff, breakups of relationship, work stuff, financial stuff, friends, parents, issues. And I found myself saying the same thing to them when they would come and, tell me what was happening. And what I would say is, yeah, it's really important. Feel that. Feel everything that you're feeling right now, right? Allow that sorrow, that anger, that rage to really move through your body. Be sad, grieve, feel it all. And then stand up, and I am going to curse right now, so if you need, turn that dial down if kids are in the car. But I would say stand up and remember who the fuck you are. And this energy that we just did with your root connected to your solar plexus connects that line. It reminds you that you have the ability to stand up and remember who you are, to face the challenge, to be resilient, and to know that that safety that you're searching for is within you. So this is really about creating an internal safety so that you can develop your own resilience from within, not from because of what someone else does, not from pulling safety from the outside in or courage from the outside in. So resilience is not about pushing through. It's not about being strong or pushing down what you're feeling. It's about staying connected to yourself when challenges occur. So see how all of this lands, this play between safety and resilience, and playing with it even in your energetic structure, which is a map. Our chakra system, our energetic bodies, they are a map to growth. So when you can remember that it starts with the safety part, and that when we feel safe, not all the time, 100%, but that little bit of remembrance that we have ground beneath us, we can build the resilience to grow forward. Thank you so much for listening this week. And just a heads up, we are transitioning into a 2-week podcast. So we're not going to launch a new podcast every week. It's going to be every 2 weeks. And if you're enjoying this, please, subscribe, like. It allows us to understand that we are helping. If we are helping, give us feedback. I guess I'm really talking about me and then my friend Selena, who helps me with this. So let us know how this is going. Let us know what you want to hear about. You know that I love to talk about all things energy, all things growth and intuition. So send me a DM, find me somehow, rate and review, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode supported you, please subscribe and leave a rating. That simple step helps this podcast grow and helps more people reconnect with their intuition in a grounded, embodied way. If you want to go deeper, take my 5-minute free quiz in the show notes entitled Unlock the Full Power of Your Intuition, where you'll discover your unique intuitive gifts, whether you're a knower, seer, feeler, or sensor, and learn more about how your intuition naturally speaks to you. Look out for new episodes dropping every Tuesday. I'm so honored to have spent this time with you. See you next week.